I've created a simple project called Simple Project Demo. Okay, and I'm going to explain a few things which is not covered in class here. Let me join also from another account. Okay, I believe that you can see the screen and hear my voice. If not, please do unmute yourself and let me know. Okay, so anyway, I'll start. In this session, all I'm going to discuss is how do you do a session management in a regular project as well as file upload using ASP.NET. Okay, and if time permits towards the end, I'll also show you how to take somebody else's template or a template which is available online and put it here in ASP.NET. Okay, so let me just begin. First thing is that I'm going to, I've already created a simple web forms project, which is simple project demo. Okay, in this one, what I'm going to do is basically, I'm going to create a login page as well as I'm going to keep a home page. Okay, so that home page can contain anything, wherever page you want to take the user to and show him a particular info. So for example, if you log into your account, you see all your details there. Okay, so far what we have done is we have done admin part. Okay, CRUD is normally admin part because you retrieve all the records, you display all the records, and you can edit whatever record you want. But in real world, we do not do that. Okay, we normally take up our record. Only you can edit only your record, not somebody else's record. So in order to do that, how will we achieve that in ASP.NET? Plus, I think session I have not covered extensively in class. Today, I'll try to take that up. Okay. So first thing what I'm going to do is before even we start with the project, let us just put an outline of what I'm going to show in this demo. Number one, I'm going to create, like last class, I created that user DB. Okay, so same thing I'm going to do now. I'm going to create a user database which has some basic details plus one image. Okay, let me create the table structure first quickly and then we'll go to the website part. So let me just create a simple SQL Server database. Okay, let me just name it as users DB or user information, something like that. Okay, let me just create that. And in that one, I'm going to create a simple table which will hold user details. Okay, and that user details, so far we have not used anything else apart from integer and I think we have used string and integer, not much. Let me just add a new table which will have also one more record. Okay, but please note, before even I write that code for database, please remember, if you want to upload a file, okay, when you have file upload, that when I say file upload, guys, I'm just talking in general, not just with respect to image or video or audio. File can be constituted as anything. Okay, so normally, typically we use image only for a file uploading, but apart from that, we can have other things like uploading a document file, PDF file, okay, whatever it is. The logic here in .NET is going to be same. Okay, file is considered as blob in MySQL, right? A binarily large object and all those things. In SQL Server, we call that as var binary. Okay, please note, not binarily large object, rather it is a variable binary object. The type here is binary. All right, but which one is recommended? Is it there are two ways, right? Okay, first one is you upload whatever file, let it be an image, let it be a document, whatever it is, directly as a data type here. That's also possible if I choose this as var binary. You can see that it is here var binary 50 characters or max. We choose max when we do not know what is the size of that file. Okay, so anyway, var binary means just like blob here in MySQL. All right, so that is one way of storing, which means whatever file you upload will be converted into a var binary and stored in the SQL Server database storage itself. Okay, in the server's database storage. All right, which means like say for example, if I upload 5 MB file, okay, 10 5 MB files, my database's size will become 50 MB. All right, not my hard disk. Hard disk obviously is included, but then database is a little bit more sophisticated. Okay, it won't lose data as much. But then when it comes to another way, the second way of storing is you store the file in the hard disk of the server and store only the location, the link of that particular file in the database. Both are valid ways. Okay, so you should think how far along your project is going to, or how far or how much of data your project is going to take. Okay, imagine if your project is going to take a lot of data, we would not recommend you to use a server database like var binary or blob and storing it in the database, because as the number of files increase, your database size also will get increased and the performance might be affected. Okay, so this is why we normally prefer storing the file in the hard disk, okay, or the database, or sorry, a storage of your server. Like for example, Amazon and Facebook and all, they have a separate storage server. Okay, you would have seen that in cloud computing, you would have heard about that. Storage alone can be kept separately in a cloud. All right, and then we can, what will I have in my database then? I'll only have the location. All right, that is now very famous in a lot of places. The files, the images, whatever you are uploading will be stored in Amazon's cloud, which is just for storage. We are keeping on structure. And in the database, in my database, what I've brought for hosting, I'll only store the location where that file is located. That's all. I'll give the location of the file and the file name. Okay, that I'll store it and keep so that it's easy for me to manipulate. All right, so I'm going to choose the second way because that is the most efficient way and easy also for us to debug, and we won't find much issues with this, to keep it as varchar. So let me just quickly do this. I'm going to keep it as user underscore ID. Okay, let it be int, and I'll change it into auto increment. Okay, second one is user underscore name. Okay, this will be the name of the user. So I'm going to put varchar 50, no nulls allowed. User underscore email, which is also varchar. I'll just put as max. Okay, and then you put user underscore password. Let me just put pswd. Okay, which is also varchar. Not null or not allowed. And I'll just put user underscore mobile. Okay, let me put varchar, but this is out varchar of 10, not more than 10 characters. Okay, so that's it. So that is the thing. Last one before I conclude with the table structure. Let me also add user underscore image or profile image, whatever you want. I'll just put image so that we can follow. I'm going to put this as varchar of max. Okay, so this null is allowed, which means it is the user's discretion whether he wants to upload a picture or not. It's not compulsory, but the remaining things are compulsory. So that I'm not allowing null for others. Only this I'm allowing null. Okay, that's it. Please note it's a very simple structure, which means database is not complicated at all. Storing it from the data, from ASP.NET will be much easier if it is like this. All right, so basically only one int, remaining all are varchars, only size are different, doesn't matter. String in basic R terms. Okay, so with that, our work here is done. Let me click on update. I'll just create this table and keep it aside. Okay, I'll not be inserting data, only creating the table. Inserting, I'll do it through the registration form. Okay, so let's do the let's not do registration now. I just did the design. Let me also add the ADO.NET entity class. Okay, so let me just add a new ADO.NET entity data model. Let me name it as user model. These are all basic steps in the beginning. Let me just do that and keep it away. Okay, next and latest entity framework. And let me just choose that table which I just specifically created. Oh, okay. So here I made a mistake by not naming the table. Please note, I forgot to put the name of the table. So the table name came as table itself, which is not what I want. So first let me just go back and change this. Okay, let me put TBL user details or users. I'll just keep it as TBL users. Okay, and let me click on update. Please note, from the definition as table, I'm converting it into TBL users. All right, what will happen in this case? Please note, there'll be a table called table already. Also, this TBL users will get created because I'm updating with the different name. So let me go back to Server Explorer. Let me just refresh this page and you see there are two tables. I can obviously delete the other one because it's the same thing, but it is not what I'm looking for. So let me just click on update database. That table is removed. I have TBL users. Okay. So let me just open up the table data. Nothing is there right now because I've not inserted anything. I'll not be adding anything here. I'll be adding it through the front end. Okay. Also, let me just add that ADO.NET user model immediately. Let me add ADO.NET entity data model user model. Let me choose that latest and let me search for the table. Okay. I have a table TBL users. Let me choose that and click on finish. All right, so the first part of all project would be to finalize the database structure, and the database structure, once it is finalized, it's very easy to do the manipulation of that. Okay, so after this is done, all I'm going to do is I'm going to create three different pages. One is home.aspx, another one is login.aspx, third one is register.aspx. All right, basically what we want is, as soon as the user comes to my page, he cannot come to the home page unless he has registered himself and logged in. So the logged in users are allowed to access my home page. Okay, so if you are accessing my home page without logging in, I should take you to login page. This is something which is simply done. Okay, so let me just do it in .NET. It's much more simpler than any other language what we have come across so far to do session management. Okay, so once it is ready, let me go to the Solution Explorer. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create something called home.asp. There are already three ASPX files there. I'm ignoring them. Okay, let me just create a new ASPX web form with the master page. First one, let me call it as home. Okay, second one, I'll create all the three first, then we will do one by one. Okay, let me add another web form with the master page. Let me name it as login.aspx. Okay, last one, I'm going to also add one more thing called register.aspx. Okay, so let me add a web form with master page. Let me name it as register.aspx. So basically I have three files: register, login, home. So first let's start with registration form. Okay, and then we'll go to login, then we'll go to the home page. All right, then we'll use session to map them all together. So first let me go to the design, and first let's create a simple structure. So let me just put one label. Okay, that will just show as a registration form, and let me put a table, HTML table, and let's start with asking the user with details. I'm going to just ask the user to enter his name, email address. I'm not writing that full word, guys. You have to write it neatly. Okay, and I'm typing it here. When you do your project, do not type it here because it will stay in that same color and size only. It will not change. So better you give it as a label, then you can name it. You need not programmatically name it. Just give the value here of the label. It will be looking decent, as well as you can manipulate them. You can choose all the 4 and or 5 and give properties which is common. So I prefer using label, but since lack of time, I'm just typing it there. Okay, so email address, mobile number. Okay, and I'm going to ask the password. So these are the details which I'm going to ask the user. All will be text boxes: name, email address, mobile number, password, all those things. Last one, what I'm going to ask is, I'm going to ask him to choose a picture, a profile image. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So basically these are the things I'm going to ask from the user. I want his name, his email address, mobile number, password, as well as profile page. Normally password is supposed to type it 2 times. Okay, but I hope by now you know how to do it, so I'm going to skip that part. Okay, so let me just go and go to the source. In the table, I'll also add one more thing, which is class is equal to table hyphen bordered, which is the bootstrap part. Okay, so let me go back to design. Okay, now the next thing is I'm going to choose put controls here. So what controls we require? We require ASP.NET controls starting with text box. Basically all our text boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these 4 are text boxes except for the last one. Okay, that one you have to upload a file, right? So I'm going to choose file upload control. There is a file upload control here. Drag and drop it into the last one. Okay, please do appropriate validation when you get time. Okay, do not forget, for the project, please make sure that you have validations for every possible way. Okay, next one is toolbox. Let me put a button. That's it. So we have a simple registration form which has, I'm not asking many details. I think I've done extensively about registration form in the first classes. So please do refer that. Okay, you can create however you want, whatever data you want from the user, manipulate it. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 controls taken from the user. I have one common CSS property, which is form hyphen control. Okay, so it will look like a bootstrap control. That is done. Now the next thing is I need to name them appropriately. So let's start one by one. First one is text box, which will hold the name. So let me just pin it here and let me start. The first text box, txt name. Okay, and it is a simple text box, no other properties I'm going to change. Second one is email address. So I'm going to put txt email, and one property I'm going to change is text mode. I'm going to change it into email. Okay, which is nothing but like input type equal to email. All right, third one is text box 3. I'm going to put it as txt, I think it's mobile. So I'll put txt mobile, and I'll expect only numbers here to be entered. So I'll just say I'm looking for a number. Okay, fourth one is password. So I'm going to put txt pswd, and also single line I'll change it into password. The last one is the profile image. Okay, which is I put it as a file upload control. Please note this entire thing is one control. Okay, just like input type equal to file in HTML. So here I'm going to name it as FUP, file upload. I'll just put it as profile pic. Okay, FUP profile pic, which is file upload control, which holds the profile pic. Okay, so that's what I've written here. Nothing else. I'm going to change it here. Okay, with that, I'll go to the next step. The last one is button. So I'm going to put BTN register, and text I'm going to put it as register. Okay, also CSS class I can put BTN hyphen success, something like that. Okay, so our registration form is ready. Now basically what I want is, as soon as you click on the registration form, okay, and I think I put a label on the top. Let me just change that also. There is a small label there. Let me just, I don't care about the ID here because it's not used for program. I'm going to put it as a registration form. Okay, and CSS class you can just put it as H1 or something so that it comes bigger. All right, done. So you have a simple registration form ready. So when you run this, all I'll get is just a form in which I'll be asking these details from the user. So when you click on register, what do you want me to do? I want you to take these 4 records, the first 4 records, name, email address, mobile number, password, and insert it into the database. Plus, I would like you to upload, okay, whatever file the user is choosing. Okay, it's not compulsory. So which means if he's not uploading, I'll be uploading null because I've allowed null there. Okay, and then I'll submit the form so that the data will be stored in the database. So for this, first thing you need to understand is that you have to create a folder specifically only to store these images. Okay, so let me go to Solution Explorer, and in the project I'm going to create a new folder. Please note I'm just adding a new folder. Let me name it as images. Okay, this is, I am only creating, guys. I'm creating one here in this particular project. So there is a folder called images in my root directory of my project, and all the images what the user is going to upload, I'm going to upload it to that same location. Okay, I hope this is clear, right? So when you click on register, basically, let me break it down. When you click on register, I'm going to upload the file what you have chosen from the user system. I'm going to upload that into the server into this folder. And once you have stored it there, images / file name dot whatever it is there, that I'm going to take it and put it inside my database. Only the location, images / file name dot jpg or png, whatever it is, only that I'm going to store it in the database. This much I need to do. Okay, so let's start with that. Let me just double click on register. Let's begin the code. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the data and put it in variable names. Okay, that will be easy for us. First one is string name. So I'll just put username is equal to txt name dot text. That is simple. Second one is string password is equal to txt password dot text. Third one is string I think it is email address. So email is equal to txt email dot text. Okay, please note mobile number. You'll have to do validations in the client side. While I take it to the server and database, I'm still thinking it as a string only. So I'm going to put string mobile is equal to txt mobile dot text. Please do the appropriate validation using validation controls, regular expression, etc. And then do it there in the client side itself. When it comes to the server, I'm going to take it as string only because my database structure still shows it as varchar. So I'm going to keep it like that. Next thing what I want to do is, I want you to create a location. Okay, please note you cannot use C users desktop like that. We cannot use because it is an absolute path. We are supposed to use a relative path. Okay, so let us create a relative path, which means / images. Okay, please remember it is going to be whichever server you are hosting it in. Okay, please note whatever server you are hosting it in, that project name / images / file name. That's the location. So all I am going to do here is I'm going to create a string path. Okay, or I'll just put it as file path so that you understand that file path is equal to, I'm going to create it as / images. Okay, right now I'm going to create it like this and let me put / also. So / images / which means whatever project you're working on, okay, whichever system you have hosted it, whatever domain name you have hosted it in, okay, project name will come in front. Okay, I'll have to find the project name through as inbuilt method. I'll use that / images /. Okay, so what is this other part? This part, the previous part of this / will be the file path that I'll be using ASP.NET to get me that. And this part, what you are giving after this particular /, I'll get it from the user. Okay, so keeping that in mind, let me start. I'm going to call up the Okay, before I even call the database, let's upload the file. Okay, if the uploading does not work, then do not add the data to the database. That's more logical, isn't it? Which means, for example, if I write, there are two sections, right, guys? Here, one, I have to upload the file to the server, database server. Okay, in the sense here in the file images folder, whatever file the user is uploading, I have to upload that into images folder. And after uploading that images folder, I have to change, or in the database, I have to update this record, which means I cannot do it vice versa. First, I update it to the database, and then if I'm trying to upload, what if the upload has a problem? Then the database I have to roll back, which is kind of a difficult task. So instead of that, what we will do here is, okay, so what I'm going to write here is, I'm going to first try to upload. Okay, so first you need to understand how the file upload here in .NET works. Okay, in .NET, what happens is the file upload control is the server based control. If you see the source code of it, it's run at server, which means it is much more sophisticated than input type equal to file. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to check whether this control has any file. Okay, I'm repeating it again. The only way I will come to know whether this file upload, have they actually uploaded a file? Okay, so whether they have added a file to be uploaded, I'll have to find out using a simple method called has file. Okay, so let me do that. Let me go to the code. I'm going to write a simple if condition. Please note the if condition. If FUP, that is my file upload control, dot has file. As simple as that. Okay, this if condition returns true if the control what you have put on the in the design has a file, which means the user has uploaded, not uploaded, at least selected a file, so that there is a pointer in that particular control, file upload control. Okay, so that's all we are looking for. Now, if it is there, what am I supposed to do? Okay, please note, else part I'm not writing anything, because if you have not even uploaded a file, if you have not even chosen a file, I'm going to keep the file profile image as null. That's all. Otherwise, if at all he has done this, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so all I'm going to do is, first I'm going to make the path proper, because I have the file now. There is a file, right? So file path, which is here, I'll concatenate that with, okay, so I'll just put file path is equal to, okay, I'll write like this so that it's clear for you. File path plus, okay, I'm concatenating file path with whatever file name is there, okay, in this, the uploaded control what we have has a file. So, which means when you clicked on submit, please note where am I writing this code after you have clicked on submit, which means that file has been posted to the server. So, I'm going to call posted file. Okay, in that, by the way, this is the control name, guys. FUP profile pic is the control name. In that one, whatever file you have posted, dot file name. Okay, now please note what will be the output of this particular code. Okay, so file path will be image slash images slash whatever file name you have given. Please note that whatever file name you have given. That's the idea. Okay, so all I need to do here is, after this particular path is ready, all I need to do is call that control and then say whatever you have got right now, save as. Okay, where am I supposed to save? I have the location, but please note you have only manipulated what can be there before the after the images slash, but before that slash what should be there, that you have not told. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Okay, before I write this, let me write that also. Okay, so I can write it in different lines, or I can write it in one line also. Okay, so first thing I'm going to write is, let me write it in one line because I've already written one line here for this. Okay, in save as, I'm going to call server. Please note the word I'm using, server dot map path. Okay, map path to which location? To a folder called images. Okay, now when I do this, this becomes obsolete. It's not required. Okay, please note, if it is, if you're using this inbuilt function, this is not required. You choose which is better. Okay, the one which I have done will explain, or what I've written so far will make the code a little bit more, what do you call, bigger. Okay, but this is one way of writing. Some people prefer writing like this. If you see some websites, they will tell how to create the path first, then you upload it. But then I have another way of doing it. I can also remove this. Okay, let me just comment this out. Okay, I can comment these things out and write like this: server.map path images. So where it will take me? It will take me till this particular location. So you have got this images folder. Please note of the case also. All right, and then concatenate that with a slash, which means I don't bother about where you have hosted it. I will map the path to my root directory to a folder called images. So I'll reach this folder by this line of code. This line is enough to reach that particular images folder. And then inside that, what do you want? Okay, then I can just call file upload profile pic dot posted file dot file name. By the way, this is how you store it with the same name what the user is uploading. I'll change it later, but then just look at this. Okay, so if this has any problem, you're not supposed to go to the database code at all, because if you can't upload the file, what is the point of inserting this record in the database? Okay, so it's better not to do that. So what I'm going to do here is the one I've committed is just for your information, guys. The code is only one line. If your upload control has file, take that file and save it as, okay, with this images folder slash file name, whatever file name the user has given. I'll tell you how to change it to whatever name you want to keep later. Okay, but just keep this. All right, what you can do is you can also generate a random number or get the date and time and then attach it. See, this file name, I leave it up to you guys. Okay, you can also add it like this. For example, how WhatsApp adds img hyphen, like that you can also add. Okay, so whatever I put here, what will be the output? img will be there in front, hyphen will be there. Then whatever, for example, if I'm uploading a file called hello.jpg, the file which is getting uploaded to the server will be img hyphen hello.jpg. Okay, like that also you can keep, or you can change it completely you want. But then I prefer keeping it like this, or you can insert one random number here or the timestamp. Okay, it's your wish. I leave it up to you guys. Okay, but let me just going to show this. Okay, so if I by the time you reach this particular line, your file has been uploaded. Now all I need to do is put that data in the database. Okay, so let's do that. Let's call the database using user db entities. db is equal to new user db entities. Okay, now please note I need to add a new record, which means I need to create a new object. Okay, and how will I store the location? Okay, how will I store the location of my file? Okay, this will be the location of your file. This part, what you see here, should be the location of your file, because slash img, this anyway you can reconstruct it back. I'll show you, but just remember this is enough for me to store in the database. Okay, because this folder I am going to anyway manipulate. Okay, let me show you. First thing, I'm going to create an object of tbl user. Let me name it as user is equal to new tbl user. Please note there are two ways to create a new record. Okay, I can just put like this semicolon and then user dot, like that I can write. But I'm going to use the second way here. Okay, just so that we have a variety. Okay, I'm going to put like this. This is also another way. Here you look at it, only those suggestions, no nothing extra. Okay, please note ID is auto generated, so I don't require that. Next one is user name is equal to whatever the user has entered. So I have already something called username here. I'll call that. Okay, comma user underscore password. Please note one things are getting removed as I type it. Okay, I'm going to call password, which I created right now. Now you see only a few records are remaining. Okay, email is equal to email what I have got from the user. Next one, user underscore mobile is equal to mobile what I got from the user. Last one is user underscore image. Image is equal to, please note I need to store the location. Alright, so I'm going to just copy this part because this is my exact location. This part I have manipulated. So this is the only thing I need to copy paste in my place. That's it. Now, please note, I don't put semicolon there, that's enough. Alright, but instead of doing this, we can automatically create a file name. Instead of file path, you can create a file name. Okay, then we can easily put this. That's also possible. So I leave it up to you guys, but right now I'm repeating the code anyway. Alright, this is just created a new instance. It's not enough. Okay, so you'll have to call db dot tbl user, dot add an object of the tbl user, which I already have user. That's it. And last line db dot save changes. This is typical entity framework code, but then basically what I have done is, first step, I have uploaded the file. If at all there is a file, if there is no file, I'll directly go here. Okay, and this will not be working, right? So I'll have to check whether this user image, this particular file has been created. Otherwise, you can just store, you need not even pass this value. Okay, this value can be entirely omitted if you want. Okay, but here I'm expecting that the file will be coming, so I'm writing it like this. If the file is not there, you can also ignore that one line of code, user dot image. Okay, so that we will right now ignore and expect that they'll be inserting one image anyway. Okay, because all of you require that, I guess. So we'll keep it like this. All right. So after this particular line is done, I'm going to just put a response dot write. Okay, so let me just write response dot write. Okay, user added successfully or something like that, registered successfully. Okay, that's it. So let me just try and see what happens. Let me just run the project. Okay, so file uploading is very simple in .NET, guys. It's not at all difficult. You can manipulate it for one file, multiple files, however you want. Okay, it's only that much. Has file, you remember. Next one is save as. Okay, because it's all server based controls, it's easy to manipulate data as well as files in .NET. Okay, let's see whether it works. Once the registration form comes, I'll just give some dummy image and upload it. So anyway, I'm going to just give a name. Let's just give Karthik. Email cat@gmail.com. Mobile number 98222. Okay, and password something. I'll just put 12345. All right, and I'm asked to choose a profile image. Let me click on search. Okay, let me just choose one of the images, and some images I've put PNG file is there. Let me just click on register. Okay, if there is an error, there should be an error shown. Otherwise, I should get response.write user registered successfully. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is let me stop the project first and let me go to the table and see what is stored here. Okay, let me just go to the table design and see what is stored there. Okay, so what is stored here? Karthik, what I gave the username, email is there, password is 12345, some mobile number is there, and look at this file name. Okay, /img hyphen my file name. .NET class YouTube 1.png. That's my file name, what I've uploaded. Okay, but you can see that IMG is there in front of it. Now, what I want to do is I want to go to Solution Explorer and go to this images folder. Let me open it in File Explorer. Okay, you see that that file has been uploaded. Right now, this is my project name. Okay, this is my project name, simple project demo. Inside that, there's a folder called images. And inside that images, the file which I just uploaded, I also wanted to look at the name of the file. Okay, please look at the name of the file, img hyphen whatever file name I have uploaded. This is the actual file name, .NET class YouTube 1.png. But then there is img added because I added it in my design. Okay, I hope this is clear to you guys. So registration is successfully done, and this is how you upload a file into your server. All right. Now, what if I wanted to keep the file name blank? If at all there is no data to be passed, okay, you can keep it like this. Imagine the user is not choosing an image. What am I supposed to do? Let me delete this. Let me create something called file name is equal to, let me just keep it as blank. Okay. If the file, what do you call? If the file upload control has file, then I will manipulate this file name. So I'll say file name is equal to, I'll cut this, I'll put it here. And what I'm going to do here is, okay, let me delete this, bracket is not required. Okay, so this is my file name. File name is equal to whatever, see here you can give whatever name you want. You can put your project name, okay, and then put today's date and time. All those things you can add it here programmatically. I leave it up to you. All right, so after I put that here, I can just concatenate that file name and close it. Done. And here you can just call file name. So now what happens is, in case the user is not choosing a file, what will happen? No error will come. Okay, imagine if I'm not giving my profile pic when I'm creating a new profile. I'm not giving, it's not compulsory for me to give a profile pic. So what will happen? This will be false, right? Profile pic has pic? No. Has file? No, it does not have a file. So what will happen? this block will not get executed. So what will be file name? Blank. All right. So when you create a new user, what will be the value which is stored in user image? Blank. Nothing. So if nothing is there, then I will make sure that the image is just showing a dummy image something. Otherwise, I'll show the actual image what the user has uploaded. So with that, our registration part is done, and the file upload is only these 2-3 lines of code, guys. It's very simple. Okay, try this on your own and let me know if you have any problem with uploading files. Okay, now let's go to the next step. Once you finish this, okay, please note this is for a new user who's coming to the website. So once he has registered, okay, I'll be taking him to login page, sorry, home page. All right, in home page, all I'm going to do is I'm going to show all his information. That's all. Nothing else I'm going to do. Let me just create a label first, or let me just put a table first. And inside the table, the first row, I'll just put one label, which will just tell welcome, whatever name he has given. Okay, so whatever right now I've registered as Karthik, so I'll say welcome Karthik. That's all will come in the label. And in the corner, I'm going to give one button which is say log off. Okay, I'm going to give log off because he's just logged in. And the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to display, only displaying. So I'm going to put some column names like what is the name, and then email address. Okay, and I'll put mobile number. I'll not display the password obviously, so I'll just put mobile number, and the last one is profile image. Okay, so these things I'll be showing to the user. Now please note, name I'll be displaying it in a label, email in a label, mobile number in a label, image I'll not use a label. Please note, only one thing is missing here is the password. I'm not going to put the password. Okay, you cannot show to the general user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the profile image here. All right, so let's start. First one is a label. So I'm going to just put one label there, copy that. I'll put it below 2, 3. 3 labels are there. Fourth one, I'm going to put an image. Please note, if you want to manipulate the image from C#, do not use IMG SRC. Do not use a HTML IMG here if you want to manipulate it through C#. You have to use this image. All right, it will be called as ASP:image. So let's change one by one properties. But before that, let me just choose this table. Let me change its CSS. I'll put class is equal to table hyphen bordered. Okay, so I have a neat table, and inside that I'm going to choose these 3 labels, and let me go and give a property which is common. Okay, so CSS class, I'll just put text hyphen success. It'll be in green color. Okay, I will change the also I'll just make it as H. I think, yeah, I can just give H2 too big. Okay, I'll put H3. All right, that's enough. So I'll be showing this data, and this label also I'll modify it. This is also programmatically going to be taken. So I'll be put LBL welcome. This will be a welcome label. Okay, and here I'm going to remove the text. I'm going to programmatically manipulate it. So I'm going to remove it and keep it there. But I'll be giving a CSS class. Let me put H1 and text hyphen primary. Okay, I'll give like this. So that will be my label. Next one, button. I'll just change it into BTN log off. Okay, or log out, or whatever name you want to give. Okay, so I'll leave it up to you. So I'll just say log out. Button will be like this. CSS class, you can just give BTN hyphen danger or whatever name, warning, something like that you can keep. Okay, log out. So these are the things, and now let's name them appropriately. First to label, let me go and change it. I'll put it as LBL name, which I'll show the name of the user, and no text should be there. Text will be manipulated programmatically. Next is LBL, I think it's email, no label. Okay, third one is LBL mobile number. So I'll just put mobile, no text in the text. All right, last one is image. Now here, this is my profile image. So I'm going to put IMG profile. So that you know it's my profile image. And please note, height and width should be, if you leave it as it is, by default it will take up the full size of your image, which will take up most of your page itself if you are not mentioning it. So I'm going to just specifically tell 150 pixels. Height should be 150 pixels. Width will be 150 pixels. So it will be like a small picture here, not too big. So the profile picture only be shown here. You can also apply CSS class like IMG hyphen rounded, whatever you want to keep. Okay, so that I leave it up to you guys. about the bootstrap part. Okay, that's much only I'm going to display to the user. Now, with that in mind, what I'm going to do is, as soon as you load this page, there is a small problem here. I cannot run this page directly. Reason why I can't run this page directly is I do not know which user has been logged in. So basically I can say without logging in, you cannot come to this page. Okay, so I've done the page design, guys. It's very simple. I've done the simple page design. Here you will be displaying a lot of information about the user, or whatever action this user can perform, cannot perform. You'll be adding that. Okay, that might be depending on what project you are doing. Okay, but basically this is just, consider this as the home page in which some information is displayed, or there are some links given to do some operation. So what am I supposed to do? Without logging in, you're not supposed to come to the home page. So let me go to login. Okay, let me quickly create one login page and then we'll move on. Let me just put a label here, and let's keep a simple table, and let me just give two text boxes. That's all I require. Okay, so with two text boxes and one button, I can make a simple login form quickly. All right, so here I'm going to say enter the user name. Next one is enter password. Okay, that's it. So let me choose these two controls, and CSS class, I'll put form hyphen control, and this button I'll put it as btn login, and CSS class I'll put btn hyphen success. I'll put this as login. Okay, and this label I will change that text to login form. Okay, and the CSS, let me put it as h1. Done. So here my form is ready. Okay, I can also change the tables CSS class as we had done earlier. Okay, so I'll just put class is equal to table hyphen bordered. If you want, you can add extra designs also. I'll leave it up to you. So I have a simple login form ready. Okay, so let me just change the okay, I've already changed here the first two text boxes. Okay, let me just put txt username, and the next one is txt pswd password. Okay, and this is going to be a password field. That's it. Now let me go to the login page. It's pretty simple, guys. How do I log in into my account? Okay, I've already done this code in the last class. Well, let me just quickly do it. Okay, if the username and the password what you have given, the email address and the password, not username, email address and password what you have given, if they both match, then I'm supposed to allow you or logging in. Okay, so let me write that code quickly. So I'm just going to write like how we did in the last class, using user db entities. Let me put it as db is equal to new user db entities. I'm going to create an object of tbl user is equal to, okay, let me put the brackets in start because I already know what I'm supposed to write, from row in db dot tbl users, where row dot user underscore email is equal to whatever the user has typed in username dot text, and row dot user underscore password is equal to whatever the user has entered in txt password dot text. Select row dot single. Okay, I hope by now you know why I wrote single there. Okay, single expects only one result to come out of this query. If it's not, it'll throw an exception and come out. Okay, in my case, I'm expecting only that. All right. So here I have a simple if else condition. If user is equal to null, which means there is no such user, which means your username and password is wrong. What am I supposed to do? Okay, so last class I had already done this, so let me just quickly do that. Okay, let me just put one extra label which will just inform the user about success or wrong. Okay, so I'll just put a label there, and let me just name it as lbl result. Okay, I'll not put any text there. I'll just keep it here blank. I will enable it through here. Okay, so if the user is equal to null, I'm going to call that lbl result dot text is equal to, I'm going to say login failed, username or password wrong. Okay, I'm just going to keep with that. And also, if you want to, last class, I manipulated the CSS class. The reason it was not working was my code was wrong. The CSS class code was wrong. I had put LBL. It's not such thing as LBL here. It is just text. So I'm going to say LBL result.css class is equal to, okay, I just need to add a CSS class here. Okay, I can just put text hyphen danger and I can add one more class, let's say h5. Okay, that's it. That's also possible. So I've just put the CSS class. I can put it on the top or at the bottom because it's from the server side. It will anyway work. Okay. So that is if the username and password is wrong. Else, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Please note, else I want you to create a new session for this user. Okay. Please note, I want you to create a new session for this user and then take him to home.aspx. Okay, please understand that I want you to create a new session for this user because you know about login and session and all those things. I'm not going to explain much about it. Okay, but when this particular user Karthik is logging in, his session should be created. So as soon as I'm coming to the else part, I am coming to the else part because there is a user with that username and password. So I'm going to create a session. So let me just write session of, you remember that how I had discussed about session, application, view, state. The syntax is just like creating an array. Okay, I've just put Savio, can you show a demo on file upload where one user can send an image to another? I just did. You're uploading file from the client to the server. That's what I just did. I just moved on from that. I don't know when you joined. I've finished the file upload. Check the recording. Okay. All right. In the session, I'm going to create a separate value called user ID. Okay. And I am going to put that from, please note already that object is available. I can just call that object and then say, get me the user ID. Please note what I have done here. Those who have worked with PHP would be following this very simple. Okay, $_session of a particular variable name equal to value. Same thing I've written it here. Session of, okay, some name that is that what I put in double quotes is your wish. User ID is equal to user.user ID. All right, so I have now set a session with this particular unique user ID. Why did I say unique user ID? Because I put user ID in the database as a primary key. So this is set to user ID here in my browser. Okay, with that, what am I supposed to do? After setting the session, this is the one line of code, guys, to set the session. That's all. Okay, now all I need to do is take him to the home page. So I'm going to say response.redirect, take this user. If the user is successfully logged in, okay, which means if the username and password is right, take him to home.aspx. Okay, take him to home.aspx. Now that's all the code here in login.aspx. So once the user is given a username and password which is right, I'm going to create a session with that user's ID. Please note user ID is not user email or name. It is a unique ID which is primary key in my table. Okay, with that user's user ID, I'm creating a session variable. All right, and then I'm taking you to home.aspx. So when you reach home.aspx, please note the condition I'm saying. If the user has not logged in, do not show him this page, take him to login page. Okay. If the user has not logged in, do not show him this page, take him to login page. How do I achieve that? Okay, just go to the code. Your login page, sorry, home page. Okay, please note you are in home page. Home page is page load event. Very simple code, guys. If session of user ID, okay, this is the variable which we had set during login. If it is equal to null, which means you have not logged in. I hope this is, you can follow this, right? In register.aspx, sorry, in login.aspx.cs, all I have done is if the user has been logged in with the username, email and password, what he has given is right, I'll come to the else part. In the else part, I have written session of user ID is equal to user ID, which means I have set something inside this session variable. Now all I'm checking in home is there anything in that session variable? If it is equal to null, which means nothing is there, take him to login page. So I'm going to say response.redirect, take him to login page. login.aspx. Okay, else I'll do something later, but let's check whether this works or not. First, let me see whether I'm able to access home.aspx. So I'm going to first run home.aspx. Please note, I'm trying to run home.aspx, but my code says if there is no session with the user ID variable set, take him back to login page. So even though I'm supposed to see home.aspx, please note it's trying to access home.aspx, but as soon as the page loads, okay, it will take me to login.aspx. You can see that it's taken me to login.aspx. Why did the system take me to login.aspx? Because you said if the user ID is not set, it's equal to null, take him to login.aspx. Now I am in login.aspx. So let me just give a username and password. I think I gave it as cat@gmail.com. Password was 12345. By the way, first let me give a wrong answer. Okay, just give some random number and click on login. Okay, when I do that, okay, give me a minute. Take it as single or default. Because default value, if at all, it is not there. I think the last class also we did the same thing. So I'm going to do that. I'll put single or default. Default, it will return null. If nothing is returned, it will return null. Otherwise, only one record is expected. So let me just open login.aspx once again and let's try. Okay, so I'll just give some email address and give some password and click on login. Okay, so here login failed, username or password is wrong. Please note the color. It is this. I gave it through the code itself because in the code we had given text danger. Okay, so it's coming like that. So it's coming a little bit red in color. All right, so this is because username and password wrong. So now let me give proper username and password. Let me click on login. It's taken me to the home page. You saw that the browser came up with save password and all those things because it understood that you have come through a username password thing. I'm now able to see the home page, but even though in home page I've not written any code, so you're not seeing any output, but basically I'm able to come to home page because you have logged in. All right, and since your session is a cookie based session, let me click on here and click on cookies. You see there is a local host. Cookies has been created with ASP.NET session ID. So a unique session ID has been generated. What if I remove this session ID, click on OK and then refresh my home page? It takes me to login page because your session has been removed. Okay, just because I removed the cookie, session ID was deleted. When the session ID is deleted, your session is not accessible. So it will ask you to log in once again. All right, this is what happens in your normal. That's what I discussed in one class of state management. Okay, so let's just log in. Now we have made sure that only if after you log in, you go to the home page. All right. So let's go back. Now I've made this part proper. What if the user is already logged in? Okay, please note my question. Already the person is logged in. What am I supposed to do? Okay, if the person is already logged in, do not ask him to log in again. Take him to home.aspx. How do I write the code for that? It's very simple. Same code. If session of user ID, okay, is not equal to null. What do you mean by that? Which means somebody has logged in. Okay, if somebody is already logged in, do not show him this page. Take him to home.aspx. So how do I write that? Response.redirect home.aspx. Done. So which means after logging in, if you are trying to access login page, I'll take you to home page because you have already logged in. All right, so these are the two things which we can do with this session. Okay, now let me go to home.aspx. Okay, please note the design. Nothing is there right now. I'm going to fill all these things. So first of all, in order to fill all these details, I need the record of the person who has logged in. How will I get the person's record? It's very simple. Okay, as soon as the page loads, if the user is not set, response.redirect, which means the place where the cursor is blinking will not get executed because you have redirected your control to some other page. In case this is not equal to null and the user is logged in, this code will not get executed. What is my next line of code? Okay, I'm going to call the database. Okay, so using users db entities, db is equal to new user db entities. All right, and with that, what I'm going to do here is I need to make sure that I retrieve all the record of that particular user. So first I need to get the user ID. So I'm going to create int user ID. Okay, let me keep it in different letters so that you get the idea of what is what. Okay, this user ID belongs to C sharp. This user ID, what I put in small letters, belongs to the session variable. User underscore ID belongs to database. Okay, so keep that idea clear. Now I need to call session of user ID. Whatever is stored in that session variable, take it and put it inside int. Okay, there will be an error because it's understandable. Let's read the error. It says cannot implicitly convert type object to integer. String to integer means we can put int dot parse. Okay, here I can't put int dot parse also because you're not parsing a string, rather you're trying to convert a object. Okay, you have learned this concept in C sharp. We call it as boxing and unboxing. Putting any data, by the way, session can hold any data type. Okay, so here what I have put inside session is a number. Okay, it need not be a number. It can be a name, it can be a date, it can be a time, it can be whatever you want. Okay, so basically what is this then? This is just going to hold object. Okay, so which means I converted a value type into reference type. This is boxing, what we see here. So what do we need to do in order to get that value out? You have to unbox it. How do I unbox it? Basically typecast it. Done. So now whatever is there in user ID, I took it, I typecasted it into an integer and stored it here in user ID. Simple. Now all I need to do is fetch all the details of that particular user. So I'm going to create an object of TBL user is equal to. We already have the code, but anyway I'm writing from row in db.tbl users where row.user underscore ID is equal to whatever the user has entered here. Okay, the whichever user is logged in his session. Okay, get the user ID from that session and then say select row. Please don't forget about that double equal to, because since we are used to that, it becomes like this. Okay, and then I say dot, because I am very sure that there will be a record with that, but anyway I can just put single or default. Okay, and I think most of the time it should not be blank, because only if you have logged in you will be allowed to create this session, and since you have logged in, this user should be valid. So but just for safety's sake I put single or default. Okay, otherwise you can just put single. Now all I need to do is manipulate all the labels. Let me start with the first welcome label. Welcome dot text is equal to I'll just say welcome. I'll put a comma and space and then concatenate user dot, please note this is the object name, user dot user underscore name. Okay, I'll concatenate that and then say put an exclamation mark. That's all. So there's a welcome symbol on the top. All right, then you have other labels also. So let me start with LBL. What are the labels we have? Name. Name dot text is equal to user dot name. Username. Next one, LBL email dot text is equal to user dot user underscore email. Next one, LBL mobile dot text is equal to user dot user mobile. Done. So we have filled everything. One thing is missing here, that image. Okay, so let me go back to the design, the home's design here. Yes, I have an image already. I just need to fill the image, whatever is there. By the way, in order to fill the image, I need from two places. One, I need the location of the image from the database. Okay, and the original file is located in the server. So if I put the location there, it is more than enough for me to get the value. So how do I put the location? It's very simple. I'll just call that img profile dot image URL is equal to. Please note the location, image URL is equal to. I'll just say server dot map path. Okay, to that same location images, and what do I concatenate that with? Whatever is available in the database. So I'll say user dot user image. I think this is enough. Let's just run and see whether it works. Let me run this home.aspx page. Yeah, I think the location has some issues with the permission, but anyway, this location, what we have written here, should be manipulated from the server. Okay, so while uploading, it is not an issue because system is manipulating it. But while retrieving from the database and displaying it here, I think the system has an issue with respect to the slashes and stuff. Okay, but because it comes as an absolute path when you compile server.map path. Okay, so since it is displayed on the client and the client side, it's enough for this. This let it be a common word which we use. and then we put the file name. So I think while uploading also only file name is required. This is not required. So we can keep it to keep it simple. We can just upload the file name to the user. Okay, so instead of this big word, we can just keep it as file name. This is not required at all. Okay, we can just remove that and just keep the file name itself. All right, but always make sure that the file name is modified by you before you upload it without any spaces. Make sure that there's no space in the file name. In case it is there also, you have to remove it and or put hyphens wherever there is a space there. Okay, that you can replace using your string inbuilt function and then do it. So when I upload, a file name will be uploaded to the server. When I'm running the program, I'm going to just call images slash whatever file name you have given. So I can create another user and check whether this works. Okay, so let me just uncomment those lines. Okay, here I'm going to just write int convert it. Okay, so I'm going to just put int of session of user ID. Done. Okay, so let me just clear this out also. Let me remove that comment. So as soon as the user comes, any user who logs in. So let me just create another user and let's go to registration. Let me run the registration form. Let me register a new user, a brand new user, and then we will check. Okay. Now, basically, this is the way in which I'm expecting you to, not this way, there are a lot of ways, but then you can try to create a registration form for the user, whoever wants to access your website. And once the registration form is done, you take them to the login page, make sure that the session is maintained throughout the page, which means any page where you're expecting a user to be present, make sure that this code is there on the top. Okay, in the home page, whatever I've written on the top, this block of code should be there on the top, which means if you have not logged in, take him to login page. Only if he is logged in, then allow him to stay in this page or any page which requires user functionality. Okay, I hope this is clear to you guys. Okay, so let me just check by just adding a new person. So let me just put John at gmail.com. Some mobile number, password. Okay, I'll choose a file, image. Okay, so let me just choose an image which is I think I'll choose this image, but then I'll just copy this and keep it in a different place, or I'll just go to .NET. I think I have one image there, dummy.image. So I'll just add that JPG and then click on register. Okay, that's just a dummy image which holds it. Okay, so now after I've registered, please note, doesn't mean that I've been logged in. So next thing I need to do is I'll try to access the home.aspx. Okay, it'll take me to login page. So let me I'll log in as John. So I'm going to say John at gmail.com, and password I'll put whatever I had given and click on login. Okay, so okay, let me figure it out. Okay, in the meantime, guys, whatever we have done so far, I think is required for you to do the upload part. Okay, so wherever the file is located is can be stored in your own server explorer here. Okay, and then you can map it however you want it. Okay, so that's what I have done in class. So basically, it's just 2 lines of code to upload the code. Okay, so to upload a file is coming like this. Okay, it'll go and it's getting saved. Let me check whether it is saved or not. I think it's not uploaded because okay. See, I've missed a slash here. Okay, so I've mapped the file, the folder name, but I've missed the file name. Okay, so let me just put that backslash. The file is not existent. That's the problem. Okay, so let me concatenate that with the file name. Okay, then it becomes proper. In the sense, wherever the location is, then you include one slash, and then you okay, let me stop the project. Okay, this one slash I removed it from the file name. That's because we kept it as a separate file name here. All right, so that slash is essential because till here you'll only get the images folder slash file name. I've uploaded to that particular location. Now this was a logical issue. That's why the file was not uploaded. Okay, so now let me just delete that record, or maybe just add it to that particular same folder so that it will be there. Okay, let me go to the desktop. If the code is right, I think this is not required, but anyway, I'll do it once again later. Okay, now I have dummy.jpg. Let me run the program. Only thing I've missed is this slash. Okay, and there is no file being added to that particular folder. That's the reason. Now the file, when it's there, it should not have an issue. Let me call home.aspx. I'll log in as the new user which we created. Alright, so here you got the dummy image which I just uploaded. So this is the profile image of this particular person. He has just put like this. So this is the user profile. So we have basically registration, login, and the home page. The home page is something which you want to show to the user. Only you, a logged in user, should be accessing. All those things can be done. Okay, so I think I'll stop with this. If you have any questions, please do ask, guys. I'll be waiting for some time, then I'll wind up. Okay. I have just downloaded this template called education mentor dot something. Okay, so I've taken this. I've downloaded it into my system. So let me just open that, and let me cut that. Let me put it in .NET folder itself so that I have it here. Let me extract to mentor. I've downloaded a template, guys. It is here, mentor folder. Okay, so let me just open that, and I see that there are a lot of HTML files, and there is a readme, then there is some form, something and all is there, right? So what I'll do is, see, please note, if at all you're downloading a template, do not use the web forms, because then the master page will come and you'll get confused with already what they have created. So I prefer you creating a new empty project. So let me just show you. I'll create an ASP.NET web application. Okay, please note that whatever template you have downloaded, okay, make sure that their CSS, just open any one file and just check how they have written their CSS code. Okay, if they have linked it online, then no problem. Otherwise, you see that they have a folder called assets, and inside that there's a folder called vendor, bootstrap, CSS, like that it is there. So let me go here and check whether all these things are there. Do not just copy paste HTML files and expect it to work. You'll have to copy properly and see how that system works before you upload it. Okay, so let me just create a simple ASP.NET web application, and let me name it as a template demo or something like that. Okay, you can choose whatever project you want to do. Let me just create, but please note the second step, do not choose web forms, choose empty, which means web form means it already creates a template. All right, you can only change the design and you can do whatever you want with that template, or you can use web forms. If you are good enough to change the template your own, then you can do it. Otherwise, I prefer choosing an empty template so that it's easy for us to manipulate it. So let me just create an empty project, okay, called template demo. And inside that, what I'll do is, if you go to the Solution Explorer, you see nothing is there, right? So all I need to do is go to this downloaded template. Okay, don't copy this txt files and all, just copy everything except for the txt files, just HTML and the assets, whatever they have, copy that. Okay, and right click on the project name here and then paste it. Okay, just right click on the your regular project and then paste it. That's it. Okay, once you have done that, your project should be added here and you should have all these things here. All right, now the thing is, these are all HTML pages, but if you wanted to convert them to ASPX or .NET pages, all you need to do is create a new ASPX page, copy paste that HTML part. Okay, never copy paste the entire file. Okay, like for example, index.html is there. If I run this project right now, okay, it will still work. It will be considered as a simple HTML project. All right, not ASP.NET, because it's completely HTML. All right, you can see that the template is working, and right now I've run this particular template from ASP.NET. I hope you guys can see this, right? This is right now running from ASP.NET. But then please note, these are all, this is just HTML template. Because if you wanted to manipulate this, if you wanted to keep this as your own way, then you will have to make changes, guys, because all templates what you download from the internet will come as HTML based templates. All right, so if you want to convert, for example, these things and all, it's fine. But what if I want to click on something and do something? Then you'll have to convert that control into a ASPX control. So when it comes to an ASPX control, you'll have to change that from input type equal to something from ASP colon button or ASP colon text box, something like that. Okay, let me show you how. Let me just stop the project. Let me go to Solution Explorer. Now I'll convert this index.html into a ASPX page. So how? Let me just add a new web form. no master page, just a web form. Let me name it as default. Okay, it will be called as default.aspx. Now you see this is the HTML tag. Let me go to Solution Explorer, open that index.html and find what is written in that. Okay, please note doc type HTML and last line, don't bother about what is there inside, just last line you see /HTML. Alright, so if you go to the default.aspx, doc type HTML /HTML, it's there. Okay, but I want you to forget that normal HTML has nothing here. Okay, but please note .NET has a little bit different way. Alright, so I don't want you to touch doc type HTML. Whatever is there between that, delete it. Okay, and please note wherever you see this word run at server, okay, do not leave that. You have to add that run at server, otherwise it doesn't become a .NET page, it becomes a simple HTML page. So let me show you, let me open that index.html. You see, let me go interior of this head section. Okay, please note nothing is there because it's a normal HTML page. So let me open the head section. Whatever is there inside the head section, okay, copy that and put it here in your default.aspx head section. You can change the title however you want. Okay, but let me just say that they already also will have something called title. You can change it here. Okay, so head part is done. Then the form part. Please note I did not remove the head tag. Head tag still says run at server. Okay, and then I take the body tag form. Do not remove the form and put whatever you are getting from the body tag inside the div tag of your regular form. Okay, let me just see index.html. You see inside the body tag there is header. Okay, so from header till the last line where you see this script inside the body tag, copy that and put it here inside the div or inside the form also. But now this has become an ASPX page. Design will not be as attractive as how you saw in the output. It will look like this only, but when you run, it will become proper. Okay, please note that it will not be as proper as, because it's just a design phase, right? Just like Dreamweaver, it will come. When you run this, okay, now I'll delete this index.html. I don't require index.html because I've got all the data. I have default.aspx. So let me open default.aspx and run the project. Okay, so now when I run default.aspx, basically what I'm running is the code of index.html. But right now it is not a HTML page, it is an ASPX page. Okay, so it will run as an ASPX page even though there's nothing to parse. It will go to the server, it will come back as a normal simple HTML page. Okay, but then please note it is from ASPX. So what you see here is an ASPX page now. Without writing much lines of thing, we already got this. Now what if you want this button to make or if you click on it you want to do something. Okay, so how should I do that? You cannot do that with just a HTML control. So you'll have to find where that get started button is there. Okay, you can go to the source and you can find that get started button. Okay, please take a simple template, guys, not a full completed template, so that's easy for you to work on it. Okay, say for example ahref courses. Okay, only thing you need to focus on here is that button. Ahref courses is courses.html they are taking you to, and class is equal to get started button. They already have written the CSS. So all I need to do is, if I want to convert this from HTML control to ASP.NET control, just go to toolbox, put a button there. Okay, once you have put a button there, you can, by the way, it's not a button actually, it's just a link. It's just a hyperlink to that page. So you can also use a hyperlink instead of a button if it doesn't want to, refresh your page or something like that. Okay, or submit the page. So I just want to put a hyperlink here, and one thing I'll do here is I'll just add a class. CSS class is equal to, I'll put this whatever is here, and let me put it here. Okay, so now hyperlink is here, and let me just say get started here. Okay, I've converted this control into an ASPX control. So now nothing else much is here except for that when you click on this button, what should happen? So let me just go to the property. You have, I think there should be something called URL. So let me just say, where is it? It's just an image URL. No, I think image is not the one. Navigate URL, sorry. Okay, so navigate URL, I'll put courses.html. Right now I'll put courses.html and then I can delete this. Navigate URL. Okay, that's it. So this hyperlink is now converted into a regular HTML control, or sorry, ASPX control. Okay, so now let me run it. Okay, so I've used somebody else's template which is downloaded from the internet and I put it here. See, please note now this course is what you see here. Get started. This is normal button which we have done, but right now this is not a normal button. This is a ASPX button, which means I can manipulate it by just double clicking on it. Okay, so I can show it to you in code also. Like for example, in the code. Okay, I'll just change it into test link. Okay, I'll go to the properties, events. You see that this is a hyperlink or simple hyperlink. Okay, so when you click on it, it will take you to navigate URL. But what if I wanted to convert it into a button? When I double click on it, you can write the code and you can take it to the server and write the code of what you want to do with the manipulation. Like this, sections and all you need not change. Okay, all these design and all don't change because design is basically HTML only. But if you want functionality, like by clicking on something or moving something, you want something as an output, then you have to change it into ASPX control. Then it is fine. Okay, it's not just plain copy paste here, guys. You have to change a little bit more because when you want programming, you will have to convert the control into an ASPX control. Don't forget that. Okay, so this is a button. You can double click on it and write code. No, you cannot write right because it's HTML code now. So I'll have to go to the source, convert this ahref into a button, then it might work. Okay, that's it. I hope this is clear to you guys. You can try, but by the way, not just one file, guys. If one file, for example, about.html does not have any programming, okay, do not convert it into an ASPX file. Let it be HTML only. If there is programming involved, then you bring it as ASPX. Otherwise, do not convert an already existing HTML file which is not going to write one line of ASPX. Do not write that into ASPX. Okay. If you want specifically to use ASPX, then bring ASPX. Otherwise, just leave it as HTML. If the content of these pages are just HTML, leave it as .html only. Okay, I hope this is clear. You guys try it on your own. If you have problems with this, let me know and then I'll come and fix it. Okay, then we can discuss it in the afternoon classes to fix it and get it done.